Good morning. It's Friday morning. I'm coming to y'all a little earlier. It's like 11 o'clock. I needed to quickly go over a couple of things. Found out I had an issue last night, and I need to make sure everybody's kind of all squared away and on the same page. I had obviously a team go into FedEx in California, pick up a load. Load was loaded. Um, and it was loaded on a trailer that obviously we brought in there, and it had no skirts on it, and the team refused to pull it, and rightly so because it doesn't meet DOT carb and all that. And if we'd have got caught, there'd have been a CSA violation on them, and etc. I know it would have been a fine, but we'd have paid the fine. That's not the issue. But the fact is, we're wrong. So obviously, and I take this all 100% responsibility on my back since I'm the one that brought in FedEx, and I'm the one that decided we needed teams, and I'm the one that decided we need to start opening up this company and running to California and diversifying like a normal trucking company should or would and whatever else. So make a long story short, I hold myself accountable for not obviously checking on DART and to understand what, I assumed that because of 2011, you had the carb law that, and all trailers had to have skirts on them, and et cetera. To me, not, I mean, it's California laws I had started, but this thing is all over. So, make a long story short, we went back, and yes, DART had all trailers from 20, whatever it was, 13 on. If they bought, they all had the skirts on them. Problem is, somewhere along the line, they decided, or somebody decided to cut costs, that if a skirt was damaged, they weren't replacing it, or they'd take the other skirt off. And so we got trailers out there that do not have skirts. So I need y'all to be on the lookout and advise us if you see a trailer that we're actually hauling. Now, to be honest with you, I'm trying to reduce the trailer ratio in this company. It needs to get to a normal ratio. It should be about 2.8 to 1, 3 to 1 at a max. And so that tells me that based on our total truck count, which is basically 900 right now, that we need, if let's go 3 to 1, it's 2,700 trailers. So with that, we've got 40, I don't know, 4,100, 4,200, and obviously we're trying to turn them in. And so anything basically 2015 or below, we're turning in and we're going to sell it because we don't need all those older trailers anyway. And we're running into the fact that we got to make sure, again, that the trailers that we have all have skirts on them. So if y'all have a problem, you see that, please let me know immediately. Another major problem. Okay, if you look at our CSA violations that we have, especially in maintenance, we have most of them are tire inflation problems. And what is really bothersome to me is that a lot of the more of the tire inflation problems are tractor related than obviously trailer related. And the trailers, basically, the trailers have a Meritor or whatever, the air system on them. Most of them do, and I think all the new ones do, have the Meritor systems from 2015 up. So obviously they're keeping, if they're running properly, and they're supposed to be, they should be keeping those tires at to inflation of 100 pounds PSI. But on the tractor, you don't have that system. And it blows me away, though, that a driver who drives that truck does not check his tire inflation. And, yes, old days, you walk around, you took a hammer, you had a billy stick or whatever, hammer, whatever, and you hit the tire and you tell whether a tire had, a lot of air in it or not. Obviously, if it had a lot of air in it, it bounced back real quick or whatever. But in today's environment, obviously, now these scales that you're crossing and all this, they're basing it based on what tire inflation is supposed to be, say 100 pounds PSI. And if that tire is wider, I guess, so it's like got less air, if it's running 79 or 80 pounds or whatever, you're not going to be able to tell whether bumping it with a hammer, if you got 100 or if you got, 89. And the problem is they're doing, I'm not sure, some kind of laser, whatever they're doing. They're basically, when you go over or past or whatever the scales, they're determining the width of the tire that's touching the ground, and that's how they're determining whether we got low, our trailer tires, our tractor tires are not meeting the inflation standards, and we're getting written up. And I'm telling you, we're getting written up by a lot. So we had Michelin do a test. Brett did, and here's what's disturbing to me: on the yard in Egan alone, tractors that were assigned to drivers that were there or had just came in, parked, whatever. We had 17 tractors on the yard that either had flat tires or low tires where the inflation was very low. I don't understand how a driver comes in and it's not written up or he's not looking at it. I mean, your life is in the hands of those tires. It's in a nutshell. I know maybe you don't think about it, but like if you drove a race car, the difference in driving a race car or it doesn't have to be a race car. If you got a car that'll do over 100 miles an hour and you got a regular normal tire on it, whether it be Goodyear, Michelin, or whatever, that tire's it's rated for a speed. At any speed over X, that tire blows out and you're dead, especially if you're doing 130, 40 miles an hour, which we obviously don't do that. I am trying to say that your tractor tires, if I'm not mistaken, a tractor tire is based on a rating of 70 or 75 miles an hour. And so we have got to keep those tires inflated and up to the right inflation rate. And that's the only way we're going to, and plus, if it's at the right inflation rate, it's the, better tread and et cetera running on the road. So it's less wear and tear and it's less replacement and a whole hell of a lot less maintenance costs. So I'm asking y'all, and that's why I'm doing this message today, two things as I said. One is the the skirts. If you see trailers out there that do not have skirts, I need you to report it immediately. And that is extremely imperative you do, especially anything that's coming out of, say, Anderson. The loads that come out of Anderson that Dext is pulling, going to the relay, they relay it down to Kansas, and it goes on our railroad, and we put it on the rail, and we rail it to Arizona. And then when they get through with it, they're moving them from Arizona over. Anderson is moving a lot of them from Arizona over to California, so that's where we're reloading. So, we cannot afford to get ourselves hung out and caught, and we can't afford to have issues with FedEx. That is imperative that we get ourselves back on track. We just can't. This is the account that is making a difference and will make a major impact difference for us going forward. So, I've got a contract coming up right now, which I'll have soon on a yard in Georgia. So we'll have trailer space for y'all to park your cars, etc. It's a secured lot, and also we have a shop that we can utilize with outside vendor right there too. So I'm trying to get all that handled up in here today or by next week at the earliest. But I do have a commitment, and they're writing up an agreement now. So we're moving on. I know there's a lot of rumblings. I know there's a lot of crap going on. There are people out there talking, oh, well, Dart, Listen, Dart is moving forward. It's a 90-year-old company, and it ain't going anywhere. So we're moving forward. Y'all just keep rolling, keep doing what we got to do. Deliver the freight on time. That's the key. All right. I love y'all. Stay safe. Bye.